Okay, everybody, this is my spoiler review of episode 1 of Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, Lot 36. Now, this one was actually written by Guillermo del Toro, and it's based off a short story he wrote, which I thought was interesting, and I loved, and I was hoping this would happen, but just like all great anthologies, and reminds me a lot of Twilight Zone, obviously, having it open with Guillermo del Toro himself introduce the episode, and he's got this little cabinet of curiosities he's opening in front of us, which was pretty cool, and I like it. That goes on, as you'll see later episodes as well, without spoiling or giving anything away, but it is something that repeats, which is great, and he is the master of visual storytelling. I'm not always amazed by his writing, but I am always impressed with work he's done directing visual wise. But what I like to see is, even he hasn't directed this episode in particular, that it still looks and has the feel of Guillermo del Toro, which is important. There's a certain vibe that you just know you're watching Guillermo del Toro project. So I'm happy it's true to that. You can still tell he put a lot of effort to it himself. And I love the lead here in Tim Blake Nelson, who plays this character who is this Vietnam vet, and this takes place in 1991. So what's interesting about this story is it relates a lot to episode 2. Again, not going to spoil episode 2, but I do want to bring up how Netflix is doing this, is that they're releasing 2 episodes each day this week, and that they're actually all themed each day. So episode 1 and 2 have the theme of scavengers, and that's what you're seeing here with this character. And Tim Blake Nelson does a great job. He's one of those actors that every time I watch him, I forget I'm watching Tim Blake Nelson. Like, I immediately fall into that the character is this person. I'm not watching an actor act, which is great. But it's dealing a lot with greed here, obviously, paying off a debt, and that how the people you treat in your life, no matter what you're going through and complaints you have, that karma can come back. And you see in short stories like this, it's always better to have a tragic ending. It just hits harder that way. We don't have enough time to really get to know the main character or build a lot of sympathy for them, but you see that every little thing counts here, which I like. Like, again, just conversation, how he treated that woman, not helping her out and letting her go back into her old storage room would bite him in the butt by the end. But I loved the most out of this episode is how they use the lights through the sequence, through the storage facility. And it was such a cool creature to start off this whole series. The big monster being Dottie, who was this sister of the man who had the storage unit and was given up as a vessel for a demon, and it's from this occult, which was pretty cool. And I just thought that the monster was amazing looking, terrifying, and again, the effect of lights going on and off and having the dial that he had to keep keeping the lights on running through just a storage unit, which felt like a cool fresh take of something that I don't think anyone has good memories being in storage units, so I think that worked horror wise. Having said that, though, I do think that it was lacking on meat to the bone in the story. Like, I didn't feel much from it. I thought I'd feel a little more. I thought it was very thin, the story, in that sense, and the emotional feelings aren't really there watching this. I just think it looked really cool and it was enjoyable, but it wasn't like memorable. It didn't stick with you, you know? So that was disappointing in that sense. And you see that this character is clearly got his issues. He's racist. He's got a bad attitude towards other people, bad attitude in general, and that will get him in the end. Again, if he was just kind to that woman, he would have got out of that storage unit. But there was some things I wanted a little more payoff and meaning to, especially with opening with the older man that had the storage unit and then seeing him on the video feed hopping. I really don't think we got any payoff with why he was hopping like that. Maybe I missed that, so let me know down below. But overall, I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 7.6, and it was strange to me, though, that was the one they let be the lead here to start off to hook people in, because usually in anthology, the first episode is either the best or at least second or third best of the bunch. So this felt more like a middle episode you kind of just throw in there. But overall, really good final sequence. That's what's going to stick with me for sure. But the rest, so-so. And I did want some more meat to the bone in the story and feel more from it. But again, great performance by Tim Blake Nelson, per usual. Let me know what you thought of this episode down below. Love to hear your thoughts. Read every comment. Try to respond as many as I can. And let's just talk about this episode. No spoilers. I'm going to be doing every single episode in separate reviews. And I'll have the 2 reviews out per episode each day. I'm not going to have a life this week, but I'm excited to do this with you guys, and I'm excited about this show. So make sure to follow me at Steve Varley Show on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok for more of me, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss one of my reviews of the show, and I'll see you next time.